राम राम हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गाथा शिवस्ति गौर भक्त बिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गाथा शिवस्ति गौर भक्त बिंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गाथा शिवस्ति गौर भक्त बिंद।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is 6th of July. It is Sunday. It is Ashadha Masa, Arvamana Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Ekadasi Tithi. So today is Saini Ekadasi, fasting from grains, beans, and cereals, and all kinds of seeded fruits. Okay, so this is a day of austerity. Okay, so we shall read some few lines of Ekadasi Vrata Katha. Can I request, do you have Jai Vaid Mataji to read the Ekadasi Katha?
Hare Krishna. Do I just have to read this?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Shayan Ekadashi. The saintly king Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Keshava, what is the name of that Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Ashad, June, July? Who is the worshipable deity for the auspicious day? And what is the process for observing this event? Lord Shri Krishna replied, O caretaker of this earthly planet, I shall gladly tell you a wonderful historical event that the Deva Lord Brahma once narrated to his son Narad Muni. One day Narad Muni asked his father, what is the name of the Ekadasi that comes during the light part of the month of Ashad, much as you did? Kindly tell me how I should observe the Ekadasi and thus please the Supreme Lord, Sri Vishnu. Lord Brahma replied, O greatly saint orator, O best of all sages, O purest devotees of Lord Vishnu, your question is as usual excellent for all mankind. There is nothing better than Ekadasi, the day of Lord Sri Hari, in this or any other world. It nullifies even the worst sins if observed properly. For this reason, I shall tell you about this Ashad Shukla Ekadasi. Do I carry on reading or somebody else does?
You can read Mataji, you can complete the story. It's long, but maybe you can just read half and then I'll request other devotee to read another.
Okay, yeah, okay. Tell me when to stop, okay? Thank you. Fasting on this Ekadasi purifies one of all sins and fulfills all one's desires. Therefore, whoever neglects to observe this sacred fast day is a good candidate for entering into hell. Ashad Shukla Ekadasi is also famous as Padma Ekadasi. Just to please the Supreme Lord Rishikesh, the master of the senses, one should fast on this day. On this day, listen carefully, O Narad, as I relate to you a wonderful historical event that was recorded in the scriptures regarding this Ekadasi. Just hearing this account destroys all kinds of sins, along with all obstacles on the path to spiritual perfection. O son, there was once a saintly king in the Surya Vamsha, Sun dynasty, whose name was Mandata. Because he always stood up for the truth, he was appointed emperor. He took care of his subjects as though they were his very own family members and children. On account of his piety and great religiosity, there was no pestilence, drought, or disease of any mankind in his entire kingdom. All his subjects were not only free of all kinds of disturbances, but also were very wealthy. The king's own treasury was free of any ill gotten moneys, and thus he ruled happily for many years. Once, however, because of some sin in his kingdom, there was a drought for 3 years. The subjects found themselves beset by famine also. The lack of food grains made it impossible for them to perform the prescribed Vedic sacrifices, of, offer oblations of grita, ghee, to their forefathers and to the devas, engage in any ritualistic worship, or even study the Vedic scriptures. Finally, they all came before their beloved king in a great assembly and addressed him thus: O king, you always see to our welfare, so we humbly beg your assistance now. Everyone and everything in this world needs water. Without water, almost everything is rendered useless or dead. The Vedas call water Nara, and because the Supreme Personality of Godhead sleeps upon water, his another name is Narayan. God makes his own abode on water and takes his rest there. It is said that three things cannot exist without water: pearls, human beings, and flour. The essential quality of a pearl is its luster, and that is due to water. The essence of a man is his semen, whose main constituent is water. And without water, flour cannot be made into dough and then be cooked into various forms of bread, offered and eaten. Sometimes water is called Jal Narayan, the Supreme Lord, in the form of this sustaining substance, water. Okay, tell me when to stop, okay, Prabhuji? In
Okay, you can
his
do that.
form, as the clouds, the Supreme Lord is prescribed throughout the sky and pours forth rains the grains from which grow the grains that maintain every living entity. O king, the severe drought has caused a great lack of valuable grains. Thus we are all miserable, and the population is decreasing as people die off or leave your kingdom. O best ruler on earth, please find some solutions to this problem and bring us to peace and prosperity once again.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was reading from my phone, so it's a bit
Yeah.
small.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You did very nice. Thank you. Can I request Saranya Mataji to continue with the rest, please?
Hare Krishna. The king replied, You speak the truth, for grains are like Brahman, the absolute truth, who lives within grains and thereby sustain all beings. Indeed, it is because of grains that the entire world lives. Now, why there is a terrible drought in our kingdom? The Holy Scriptures discuss this subject very thoroughly. If a king or head of the country is religious, both he and his subject suffers. I have meditated upon the cause of our problem for a long time, but after searching my past and present character, I can honestly say that I find no sin. Still, for the good of all your subject, I shall try to remedy the situation. Thinking in this way, King Mandada assembled his army and enraged, paid his obeisances to me, and then entered the forest. He wandered here and there, seeking great sages in their ashrams and inquiring about how to resolve the crisis in his kingdom. At last, he came up the ashram of one of my other son, Angira Muni, who have effulgence lit up all direction. Seated in his hermitage, Angira looked like a second Brahma. King Mandada was very pleased to see that exalted sages whose senses were completely under control. The king immediately dismounted his horse and offered his respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of Angira Muni. And the king joined his palms and prayed for the Muni's blessings. That saintly person reciprocated by blessings the king with sacred mantras. Then he asked him about the welfare of the seven limbs of his kingdom. The seven limbs of a kingdom's domains are The king himself, the ministers, his treasury, his military forces, his allies, the Brahmins, the sacrificial performance performed in the kingdom, and the needs of the subject under his care. After telling the sage how 7 limbs of the kingdom were situated, King Mandada asked the sages about his own situation and if he was happy. Then Angiramani asked the king why he had undertaken such a difficult journey into the forest and then told him that told him of the affliction the kingdom was suffering. The king said, "O great sage, I am ruling and maintaining my kingdom while following the Vedic injunction, and thus I do not know the reason for the drought. To solve this mystery, I have approached you for help. Please help me relieve the suffering of my subjects." Angira Rishi said to the king, "The present age, Satyuga, is the best of all ages. For in this age, Dharma stands on all 4 legs: truthfulness, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness. In this age, everyone respects Brahmins as the topmost members of society. Also, everyone fulfills his occupational duties, and only twice born Brahmins are allowed to perform Vedic austerities and penances. Although this is a standard, O lion among kings, there is one Shudra, uninitiated, untrained person, who is unlawfully performing the rites of austerity and penances in your kingdom. This is why there is no rain on your land. You should therefore You should therefore punish this labor with death, for so for by so doing you will remove the contamination inflicted by his actions and peace you yours therefore restore peace to your subjects. The king then replied, "How can I kill an offenseless performer of austerity and sacrifice? Please give me some spiritual solution." The great sage Ankiramuni said, "O king, you should observe a fast on the Ekadashi that occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Ashada. This auspicious day is named Padma Ekadashi, and by its influence, plentiful rains and thus grains plentiful grains and thus footsteps will surely return to your kingdom. This Ekadashi bestows perfection upon its faithful observers, removes all kinds of bad elements, and destroys all obstacles of the path to perfection. O king, you, your relatives, and your subjects should all observe this Ekadashi fast. Then everything in your kingdom will undoubtedly return to normal." Upon hearing these words, the king offered his obeisances and returned to his palace. When the Padma Ekadashi arrived, King Mandada assembled all the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras in his kingdom and instructed them to strictly observe this important fast day. After they had observed it, the rains fell just as the sage has predicted, and in due course of time there were abundant crops and a rich harvest of grain. By the mercy of the Supreme Lord Hrishikesha, the master of the senses, all the subjects of King Mandada became extremely happy and prosperous. Therefore, O Narada, everyone should observe this Ekadashi fast very strictly, for it bestows all kind of happiness as well as ultimate liberation upon the faithful devotee. Lord Sri Krishna concluded, "My dear Yudhishthira, Padma Ekadashi is so powerful that one who simply reads or hears its glories become completely sinless. O Pandava, one who wishes to please me should strictly observe this Ekadashi, which is also known as Devashayani Ekadashi. Devashayani or Vishnu Shayani indicate the day when the Lord Vishnu goes to sleep with all devas, demigods. It is said that after this day one should not perform any on this day one should not perform any new auspicious ceremonies until Devota, Devothani Ekadashi, Haribodhini, Prabodhini, Devotani, Uttana Ekadashi, which occurs during the month of Kartiga, October, November. Because the Devas, demigods, being asleep, cannot be invited to the sacrificial arena, and because the sun is traveling along its southern course, Dakshinayana. Lord Sri Krishna concluded, "O lion among kings, Yudhishthira Maharaj, whoever want liberation about liberation should regularly observe a fast on this Ekadashi, which is also the day on the Chadurmasya fast begins." Thus ends of narration of the glories of the Ashada Shukla Ekadashi, also known as Padma Ekadashi or Devashayana Ekadashi, from the Bhavishya Uttara Purana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. And both Matajis, Jayaved Mataji, Sharanya Mataji, very beautifully read. Thank you so much. Okay, so that Ekadasi starts today, the Saini Ekadasi, and also it is generally observed as Chaturmasya. So no new activities or auspicious activities are started in these 4 months because Lord is going to sleep, and then auspicious activities will start after the Chaturmasya. Okay, so that is today's Saini Ekadasi, fasting from grains, beans, cereals, and all seeded fruits. Okay, so not too much seeds, but some seeds are acceptable so that seeds would not be digested in the tummy. That is the main reason. Okay, so that is from the events perspective. We shall move to our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Buddha was speaking to Vidura, saying about whenever Lord was very affectionately speaking to Uddhava during Krishna's pastimes, during Krishna is departing from this material world to his abode, at that time, Uddhava is mentioning, people who have taken the shelter of lotus feet of you, my dear Lord, they will attain automatically dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all those things, purusharthas. But for me, with regards to myself, I do not want anything except only the devotional service onto your lotus feet. So likewise, Vidura was mentioning. So before that one, Krishna spoke all about Bhagavatam and Krishna's pastimes. After hearing that, Uddhava, he is melting his heart. He was addressing the Lord like that. Kormishite pada saroja bhajam सुदुर्लभोद्धेषु चतुष्वपीहं तथापि नाहं प्रवृणोमि भूमन् भवत्पदाम्भोज निषेवन उच्चकः. So he is always anxious to serve to the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. That's why Uddhava, all of his life, he has accompanied Krishna. So that is the Uddhava's mode. So on today further, Uddhava is saying that sometimes the Lord has appears, though he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he does not have birth, and still he appears, he takes birth, and still he is free from the materialist activities, but still it appears that he engages himself in the karmic activities. And even though he is supreme personality of Godhead, sometimes we see that he is running away from the battlefield because of the fear. And even though he is supreme, he is the controller of the time factor. And also he is engaging in the materialistic activities where time is always there. And even though he is free from all kinds of material things, but still engaged in the association of the woman he stays in the Grihastha ashrama. Like he is enjoying all these things. So, but it is bewildering to even the great sages. Generally, people think Lord cannot be entangled in the materialistic things. So, likewise, even the great sages are bewildered. Likewise, Uddhava is mentioning today to Vidura. Okay, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 4, verse number 16. कर्माण्यनीहस्य भवो अभवस्यते दुर्गाश्रयोत अरिभयात् पलायनम् कालात्मनो यत् प्रमदायुताश्रमः स्वात्मन् रते विद्यते धीर्विदामिह. कर्माणि अनीहस्य भवो अभवस्यते. Karmani, so the fruitive activities, karmani activities, anihasya, of one who has no desire. Even though he has no desires, but still he is performing karmani. Karmani anihasya, bhavo abhavasyate, and he takes birth, even though abhavasya, of one who never takes birth. That birth has happened to the Lord. And he engages in the karmic activities, even though he has no desires, and even though he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, no birth, but still he takes birth. Karmani anihasya bhavo abhavasyate. Durgashriyo ata, Durga Ashraya. Durga is the fort, Ashraya is the taking the shelter of the fort. So this is the Krishna has created the fort, Dwaraka fort, and to protect all his families. Durga Ashrayo ata, for what? Thereafter, Aribhayat Palayanam, out of fear of the enemies. Palayanam, he flee from the battlefield. So whenever Jarasandha and Kalayavana attacked Madura, during that time, with the help of Muchukunda, he kills this Kalayavana without touching him. And then with Jarasandha and his army, so at that time there is another important task. It appears that the Lord has uh, just climbed down to a big mountain, and then he jumped into the waters, and then he swam into the swam to cross this ocean and enter into Dwaraka fort. Which he has already constructed to protect all his family. All his family were sleeping in that night, and as soon as they were in the Madura, but in the next day morning, as soon as they woke up, they are in the Dwaraka fort. So Aribayat Palayanam, the Lord appears to be flee from the battle. Kalatmano yet pramudayut ashramaham. Kalatmano yet and Kalatmanaha, of he who is the controller of eternal time. So yet that pramadayuta ashramaha. Pramadayuta ashramaha. In the association of women, ashramaha is the household life. This is Grihastha ashrama. So where woman is leading the house. Gruhini and Gruhastu. Gruhini is the one, generally wife or the Gruhini. It means what Gruhini means? A person who has got that house as his own, as her own. So it belongs to the woman. It is not, but Gruhastu, the man, he stays where the Gruhini is owning that house. Even the man is earning money, but that is actually, it belongs to the woman. Man is simply staying there, and one day he will leave the home for the Vanaprastha and then sannyasa later on in due course of time. But woman would stay in that home, Gruhini. So now Krishna is staying in that ashrama, Ayuta ashramaha, Pramadayuta ashramaha, living in the household life. Swatman Ratehe, and in your own self, one who enjoys. Even though Lord enjoys, he is the Atma Rama, but now he is among the women. Here, associating with all his wives, 16,108 wives, in that many number of palaces, enjoying, just like a Prakruto Yata, just like a materialistic people live. And so by looking all these things, Kidjati Dhir Vidami, this is Kidjati Dhihi Vidamiha. Kidjati is disturbed. Dhihi in intelligence. Kidjati Vidamiha, of the learned in this material world, in this world. So people looking at the Krishna's pastimes, they are bewildered. So if it is Ramchandra, Lord Ramchandra has appeared, he lived like a human, and everything he followed all the scriptural injunctions. That is very easy to understand the Lord pastimes, and it is straightforward. His activities are straightforward. But in the Krishna's pastimes, there are so many things, twists are there, so many of divine pastimes, supernatural pastimes. Many of them are there. So because of those things, many of the muhyanti, they're all bewildered, fall into the illusion by looking at, am I looking at the real thing or not? Something like that, they fall into illusion. Kidjati, they're disturbed in their intelligence. Likewise, Buddha was saying to Vidura, Karmani anihasya bhavo abhavasthate durghashrayo ata aribhayat palayanam kalatmano yat pramadayita ashramah swatman ratehe kidjati dhir vidhamiha. Kidjati dhir vidhamiha. So, translation for this shloka. My lord, even the learned sages become disturbed in their intelligence when they see that your greatness engages in fruitive work, although you are free from all desires, that you take birth, although you are unborn, that you flee out of fear of the enemy and take shelter in a fort, although you are the controller of invincible time, and that you enjoy householder life surrounded by many women, although you enjoy in yourself. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so can I request three devotees to read each paragraph one? The three paragraphs. Can I request three devotees to take turn, please?
Shall I start, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, first.
Perfect, guys. Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, teacher. Pure beauty of the Lord are not very much concerned with philosophical speculation with regard to transcendental knowledge of the Lord, nor is it possible to acquire completely knowledge of the Lord. Whatever little knowledge they have about the Lord sufficient for them because devotees are simply satisfied in hearing and chanting about the transcendental pastime of the Lord. This gives them all transcendental bliss, but some of the pastimes of the Lord appear coordinated even to such pure devotees, and thus Uddhava asked the Lord about some of the contradictory incidents in his pastimes. The Lord is described as having nothing to do personally, and it is actually so because even in the creation and sustenance of the material world, the Lord has nothing to do. It seems coordinatory then to hear that the Lord personally lifts the Govardhana hill for the protection of his unhallowed devotees. The Lord is the Supreme Brahman, the Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead appearing like a man, but Uddhava had doubts whether he could have so many transcendental activities.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Can I request the devotee take a turn to read second paragraph, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, may I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. There is no difference between the personality of Godhead and the impersonal Brahman. How then can the Lord have so many things to do, whereas the impersonal Brahman is stated to have nothing to do either materially or spiritually? If the Lord is even unborn, how then is he born as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki? He is fearful even to Kala, the supreme fear, and yet the Lord is afraid of fighting Jarasandha and take shelter in a fort. How can one who is full of himself take pleasure in the association of many women? How can he take wives and just like a householder take pleasure in the association of family members, children, relatives, and parents? All this apparently contradictory happening bewilder even the greatest learned scholars who thus bewildered cannot understand whether inactivity is a fact or whether his activities are only limitations. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Can I request the devotee to take a turn to read third paragraph, please? Garinga Mataji, would you like to read, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. The solution is that the Lord has nothing to do with anything mundane. All his activities are transcendental, and this cannot be understood by the mundane
uh, special special letters. For the mundane specul- col- speculators, then is certainly a kind of uh, bewilderment, but for the transcendental devotees, there is nothing uh, astonishing in this. The Brahmana conception of the absolute truth is certainly the uh, negation of all mundane activities, but the um Parabrahman conception is full with transcendental activities. One who knows the destination between the conception of Brahmana and the conception of Supreme Brahman is certainly the real transcendental bliss. There is no bewilderment for such transcendentalist. The Lord Himself also uh, did less in Bhagavad Gita 10.2. Even the great sects, the demigods, can know wholly hardly anything about my activities and transcendental potencies. The right explanation of the Lord's activities is given by grandfather Brahmadeva, Bhagavad 1.9 16 all follows. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Uh, नाही अशा काहीच reason पुमान भीतो विद्या विधिस्थितं यत् बीजा यद्बीजानस्य युक्ता मुद्यन्ति काभ्यापिः. Prabhuji, very difficult to pronounce, sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. You did very nice. Thank you so much. Very good. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing the difference between the pure devotees, how they understand the Lord's pastimes, and how ordinary people will understand. They are not the devotees yet. So pure devotees of the Lord are not very much concerned with philosophical speculation in regard to transcendental knowledge of the Lord. So there, the Lord is maintaining this universe, the creation, maintenance, and the destruction. Everything is taking place. It is, a person is there. If there is a vehicle, there is an operator. So there, we do not have any experience. There is a vehicle without the operator. We know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is the maintaining this entire cosmos. So knowing that, Kashraddadita Anyatam Tava Prabho Rasam Gataya Bhuvidvibarhanam Savismayoso Tvai Visvismaye Yo Mayedam Sasruje Ati Vismayam. So this is the sages whenever Varaha Bhagavan lifted this earth on his tusks from the Garbhodaka ocean. Kashraddadita Anyatama Tava Prabho Rasam Gataya Bhuvidvi Barhanam. You have went into the Rasatal and lifted this earth on your tusks. It is so beautiful. they're describing that it is not very wonderful for us because you create and maintain and destroy everything, but lifting the small earth, it is not a big task. So devotees are not bewildered. They're also saying, uh, yo mayadam susruje at vismayam. So you create this creation, you maintain and create, you create and maintain and destroy it. You do such kind of thing, but small thing lifting the earth, it is not a big wonderful thing. So they are not bewildered. They are not very much concerned with philosophical speculation in regards to, they do not have to go scientifically, oh, what is the Big Bang, how it has come. This is all useless endeavors. We have got a statement here, accept it and be happy. You do not have to put all your endeavors. Human energy is going to be wasted in the labors, gunpowders. So that is the only thing are happening in this world at the moment. Everything are burning this energy of human life. It does not help. So all these scientists, they do not help. The technology does not help. The technology, it will only bring anxiousness into the people's life. One must stop this advancement of the technology. One has to be civilized in the transcendental spirituality. Then it will be a civilization, good civilization. So here, nor is it possible to acquire knowledge, complete knowledge of the Lord. यस्यावतार कर्माणि गायन्ति ह्यस्मदादयः नयं विदिन सत्त्वेन तस्मै भगवते नमः. Brahma describing the pastimes of the Lord, and after saying all these things, O Narada, and Lord's pastimes are innumerable, and we can simply glorify and be satisfied and happy. यस्यावतार कर्माणि गायन्ति ह्यस्मदादयः नयं विदन्ति तत्त्वेन तस्मै भगवते नमः. Even though we sit together and try to understand with tattva, oh, this one, oh, Lord might have been done. So logical bringing the, we cannot understand those things. Nayam vidanti tatvena tasmai bhagavate namaha. On to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, we offer our obeisances. Okay, so it is not, nor is it possible to acquire complete knowledge of the Lord by the Tattva also. But whatever little knowledge they have about the Lord is sufficient for them, because devotees are simply satisfied in hearing up and chanting about the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Simply, just by simply hearing and glorifying the Lord. So this gives them all transcendental bliss. Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayanta mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Anyway, everyone are going to die in due course of time. Why not I enjoy it by discussing the pastimes of the Lord? They are so wonderful and transcendental. They're always fresh, and so it has, though it has been compiled so many thousands of years back, still we feel that kind of fresh and relishment. That's what we need to have. It is not this always struggling hard. We have got only few years in our life to live, but they're working hard. They cannot enjoy all the work what they have earned, their livelihood. They cannot enjoy. They will be diseased. But this one, the transcendental bliss, one can experience every moment. This is the perfection of human life. But some of the pastimes of the Lord appear contradictory, even to such pure devotees. And thus Buddha asked the Lord about some of contradictory incidents in his pastimes. So here this is Name karma nilampante, name karma phale spraha. Krishna says, I do not have any desire to enjoy the fruitive activities. Name karma phale spraha. He does not have any desire to enjoy the results of those fruitive actions. So the Lord is described having nothing to do personally, and it is actually so, because even in the creation and sustenance of the material world, the Lord has nothing to do it, because everything is within the Lord. Everything sarvam idam mayatadam. So I think it is, Lord says in the chapter 9, 4th shloka, Maya tadamidam sarvam jagadabhyaktamurtina. Everything is sustaining on the Lord. So it is situated in the Lord, but Lord is not within it. So for example, if a father, he is bringing all fruits, vegetables, and all kinds of things, and he gives nice things to the family member. And but father is very happy by providing all these things. He is not desiring to eat those fruits, and it is for the family's sake. But his father is always self-satisfied. He has nothing to do it. Okay, so it seems contradictory then to hear that Lord personally lifts the golden hill for the protection of unalloyed devotees. The Lord is the Supreme Brahman, the Absolute, the personality of Godhead appearing like a man. एतद् भगवतो रूपं एतद् भगवतो रूपं ब्रह्मणो ब्रह्मणो परमात्मनः प्रधानं परम. So there it is mentioned param pradhanam purusham daivim karma vichesitam. Brahmana, Paramatmana and Bhagavan, daivim karma vichesitam. All his pastimes are very wonderful. So this again Kapila Bhagavan described about these activities. So this Supreme Brahman, Brahmanaha, Paramatmanaha, and Bhagavan. And his pastimes are like very wonderful. Okay, so but Uddhava had doubts whether he could have so many whether he could have so many transcendental activities. So because नान्तं विदाम्यहम् अमी मुनियोग्रजास्ते माया बलस्य पुरुषस्य कुतो वराये गायन् गुणान् दशशतान् आदिदेवः शेषोदनापि समवस्य नास्य पारम्. Sheshodanapi, even the Lord Shesha, who is the first explanation of the Lord, with his 1,000 faces, glorifying the Lord, it is not never completed. Still glorifying the Lord's pastimes. So many activities are there. Gayan Gunan Dasasharanana Adidevaha, thousands of foods. Sheshodanapi Samavasya Nasya Param, Na Asya Param, he could not complete yet. Still glorifying. So there is, and also coming to here, there is no difference between the absolute, between the personality of Godhead and impersonal Brahman. Brahmano hi pratistaham amrutasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya dharmasya sukasya aikantikasya cha. So that is also, Krishna is the basis for that impersonal Brahman, no difference. How then can the Lord have so many things to do, whereas the impersonal Brahman is stated to have nothing to do, either materially or spiritually? So here, this is again confirmed. If the Lord is ever unborn, how is he born as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki? He is fearful even to Kala, the supreme fear. And yet the Lord is afraid of fighting Jarasandha and take shelter in a fort. How can uh, how can one who is full of himself take pleasure in the association of many women? How can he take wives and just like a householder take pleasure in the association of family members, children, relatives, and parents? All these apparently contradictory happenings bewilder even the greatest learned scholars, who thus bewildered cannot understand whether inactivity is a fact or whether his activities are only imitations. Okay, so likewise, Buddha had got such kind of questions. How it is possible. So sometimes we also think, if we observe, if we have got so many children, little children, the children are just acting like I am father, I am mother, you are a children. It is imitation of the parents. Imitation of the parents, and they will play. And one little girl is going to act as a mother, and she is going to cook food and then give it to her children. Sometimes parents are acting like a small children to them, and then whatever they feed, the parents eat as a children, their babies. It is so blissful, and that is a relishment, the loving relationship between the devotees and the Lord. Likewise, the parents and the children. That's why if someone comes and say, why this much of big persons are taking the food from the little girls? If other people say, technically the scientists come and try to understand those things, they cannot understand why these big people, big man and big woman are trying to take the food from the little girls. It is unjustifiable, injustice. They may think like such kind of things. It is not possible. So that is not um, wonderful for the devotees. they understand it is a relishment, it is a play. So here the solution is that Lord has nothing to do with anything mundane. All his activities are transcendental. So this cannot be understood by mundane speculators. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयात् इतरशार्धेषु विघ्नेश्वरात् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः. So this is muhya tejovari mridam veda vinimayo yat ghomrusha dhamna svena sada nirstakuham satyam param dhimahi. He is always beyond this, all these things. He is the Swarad, independent. And it cannot be understood by the mundane speculators. For the mundane speculators, there is certainly a kind of bewilderment. But for the transcendental devotee, if we see in the past times, for example, Durvasa Muni and Pandavas and Krishna, when Durvasa Muni went to the Pandavas, and then so Durvasa Muni wanted to test the Pandavas. So actually, on the inspiration of Duryodhana, he goes there after Draupadi eats the meal, which the meal is given, but meal was prepared using the Akshaya Patra. So once the Draupadi takes, and then uh, it does not give more food. So at the time, Durvasa Muni enters with along with his so many of his disciples, thousands of disciples, and then we are hungry. We wanted to eat food. Then Yudhishthira was bewildered. What to do now? So at the time, Draupadi was thinking, "What should I do?" And then she just remembers Krishna and prays to Krishna. Immediately, Krishna comes there, and then there is one speck of food particle in that bowl. Akshay Patra Krishna asks that, and then he takes that, and then he sends Bhima to just bring Durvasa Muni on with all his sages to come and have. By the time they are always while they're taking the bath in that river, everyone are feeling that their tummies are full. Everyone are doing burping. So as they have eaten sumptuously all food. And then Bhima says that. So here Vasudeva is also there um, in the ashrama. You just please come, and we would like to feed you. We have got everything is ready. Then Durvasa Muni understands that, oh, his Vasudeva is there, and then he just run away from there itself. He does not even come and see again, because he has asked Yudhishthira to perform to prepare all kinds of foods. Now if he doesn't eat it, then what happens? Yudhishthira may be upset. So these are, even Dhruva Muni cannot understand. And there are so many other, even Narada Muni was traveling to all 16,108 houses of Krishna. How Krishna is managing all these houses with a different wife and children like that, he is also wondered. So this is bewilderment, certain kind of bewilderment. But for the transcendental devotees, there is nothing astonishing in this one. So here, the Brahman conception of the absolute truth is certainly the negation of all mundane activities. This is like Aham Brahmasmi. So yes, you are Brahma, and then you have nothing to do with the materialistic activities, but still we can do devotional services. So when we are in debt, if you just pay off the debt, you are now neutral. If you earn money, there is no harm. There is no harm. So when there are transcendental activities are there, it is blissful, so blissful and happy. So here, this is the Brahman concept. Some people, they are just satisfied with the just Brahman of the absolute truth. So it's certainly negation of Mulyan. But Parabrahman conception is full with transcendental activities. Daiving karma vichestitam. So one who knows the distinctions between the conceptions of Brahman and the conception of the Supreme Brahman is certainly the real transcendentalist. He would, every moment he relishes, he does not have anything to do with the mundane activities. Some people in this mundane world, so when they're engaged, they're absorbed with the results of the fruitive activities. So if they don't gain it, they will be lamenting it. If they get it, and they will be puffed up in their enjoyment. But the transcendentalist, he is neutral to both of them. He is neutral to both of them. If it comes, then he will utilize that one. If it doesn't come, he doesn't bother about it. So likewise, the transcendentalist, he is always relishes Krishna's pastime. He understands the distinction between the conception of Brahman and the conception of the Supreme Brahman. He is certainly a real transcendentalist. There is no bewilderment for such transcendentalists. And the Lord himself also declares in the Bhagavad Gita 10.2, so even the great sages and demigods can know hardly anything about my activities and transcendental activities. Name viduhu suraganaha, name viduhu suraganaha, prabhavam न महर्षयः प्रभुं न महर्षयः अहम् आदिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः. So these are name viduhu suraganaha. Even demigods cannot understand. And also prabhavam na maharshayah. Even the sages, great sages also cannot understand. Because aham adirhi devanam. I am the source of all the demigods. And maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Even though I am the source of all these maharshis as well. Likewise, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 10.2. If the father is there and children are there, how can child can understand father's all pastimes? He cannot understand. Likewise, the demigods and sages are like that. And the right explanation of the Lord's activities is given by the grandfather Bhishma Deva. So in the Nahi Yasya Karchitrajan Puman Veda Vidichitam. O Yudhishthira, Bhishma says to Yudhishthira, O Yudhishthira, Nahi Yasya Karchitrajan Puman Veda Vidichitam. No one can understand the Lord's pastimes. Yet Vijnasaya Yukta Muhyanti Kavyopihi. Even the great sages are also bewildered. So now Krishna later on he says to Yudhishthira and the Pandavas, whoever is left after Kurukshetra battle, even the Pandavas' children are killed. The Draupadi's children, that is Prativinda, Vinda. So those 5 children, Upapandavas, they are killed by Ashwadhama. And then next day morning, everyone are crying, all women are crying, and then even Yudhishthira and Pandavas come to that camp and seeing that what has happened, all the even Drishtadyumna and all the Upapandavas, everyone are killed. And if in that night massacre that Ashwadhama, Krutavarma and Kripacharya has done, it is so it is so fearful to everyone. All the women are crying. All the women are crying. So at that time later on, by looking at Krishna says, enough is enough. Stop crying. It is everything is by my arrangement only. I know everything what has happened. So do not cry for this. Then later on, everyone are a little bit pacified. Okay, it has happened based on Krishna's arrangement only. The Krishna says that one we can see from the Mahabharata. Sometimes why it has asked why Krishna did not protect, but everything is happening by Krishna's arrangement only. Lord Shiva also mentions to Ashwadhama that Lord Shiva gives the sword to Ashwadhama, you just carry out. So there are rest of the soldiers so still remaining, you just finish them everyone. And then Ashwadhama was empowered to kill everyone else, whoever is left. And later and finally, when everyone are crying there, then later on Krishna says that one. So no one can understand Lord's pastimes. Bhishma also understands this one. Nahi asya karichitrajan puman ved vidichitam yad vijnasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. Even the great sages are also bewildered. Muhyanti kavayopihi. So here, just if we look at that statement, like how this Krishna was not chastising, but telling all these women that do not cry. Everything is by my arrangement. So in this Mahabharata, in the second part, in the deliverance, so here the war ends, Arjuna. There we can read all these things. This is Pandavas retire and massacre at the night. Ashwadhama punished in this one. So Krishna says here those particular statements. So that night, so here, guess after gazing with tear-filled eyes, the king, three men built a large funnel pipe. So this is about Duryodhana's funnel. So in the next, what has happened after that? So here, Duryodhana, by looking at the massacre, Yudhishthira dropped to the ground and cried out upon hearing their brother's distress cry. So here, O king, Draupadi's sons as well as our Drupadas have all been slain. Ashwadhama, Krupa, Krutvarma have committed a most cruel act, even as our men slept. They were killed without mercy. Ashwadhama came like a death himself and slashed at everyone with his sword. Anyone who tried to flee was cut down by the arrows of the other two, Krutavarma and Krupacharya. I think I am the only survivor. Somehow I managed to escape from the camp and have come here to tell you. Then Yudhishthira dropped to the ground and cried out upon hearing their brother's distress cry. Other Pandava brothers ran into him and then informed them of what had happened. They too began to cry and fell to the earth. Yudhishthira's voice rose above the others. Alas, after defeating our enemies, we are now defeated. Any already bitter victory gained at the cost of lives of so many kinsmen has become still more bitter. What happiness can we now enjoy with all our sons, friends, and followers slain? Alas, they have died like merchants in a boat, who having crossed the ocean or wrecked in a shallow river. What will become of what will become of Draupadi? How will she live after hearing that her sons were brutally slaughtered? Yudhishthira turned to Nakula and asked him to bring Draupadi to the Pandava camp so that he could break the terrible news to her. After Nakula left and other brothers comforted Yudhishthira, who then left the tent and mounted his chariot, accompanied by his brothers and Satyaki, who had stayed with them in the Kaurava camp. He made his way to his own camp. So Yudhishthira entered the camp. He saw the ground littered by bodies, severed heads and limbs by lay strewn about, birds picking at them, and then so this one is very even painful for Pandavas. Yudhishthira is now all saying, so I just skip this part and then come to that point. This is a painful thing for Pandavas. And then here, so here soon after Krishna arrived and discovered the grisly scene. After being informed that Bhima had set off in the pursuit of Ashwadhama, he said, O Yudhishthira, Bhima is dearer to you than life. Why do you stand here without acting? Surely you know that Drona gave Ashwadhama the Brahmashira, capable of consuming all three worlds. Although his father ordered him to never use that weapon against men, I am sure that in his desperation he will release it against Bhima. Only Arjuna, who also received the weapon from Drona, can check it. Do not delay. Order him to go after his brother. I will go with him. So this is Krishna's sense. So this is after that. So this is Krishna reminded Yudhishthira of an incident which had occurred in many years ago. How Ashwadhama asked for Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, and then but Ashwadhama could not lift that Sudarshan Chakra. So this is if you look at that. To indicate the cunningness of Ashwadhama. So that is this past tense. And later on, so Yudhishthira agreed, and then Krishna spoke consoling words to Draupadi, and after bowing down to Yudhishthira, beheaded off the tent, preparing to follow him. Arjuna said to Draupadi, "Oh, gentle lady." So this is after that. And then Krishna went there, and then Ashwadhama is captured. And then he brought back to the Pandavas camp. And then there he was punished by the Arjuna and also Bhima. Bhima was just kicking him. So and then later on the Pandavas they stopped him and then he wanted to fulfill the desire of Krishna wanted Arjuna to do, which is acceptable to everyone there. One is satisfy Bhima, satisfy Draupadi and the Pandavas, and also Krishna, and punish him at the same time not to kill him. Then Arjuna shaved the head of the Ashwadhama and took the jewel from the top of his head. So, and then he lost all his beauty and luster. So this is again past tense. So there Krishna's statements like everything has happened on the will of Krishna. So that one we see. Just I'm trying for that paragraph. So this is again punishing of Ashwadhama here. So Arjuna and Bhima dragged Ashwadhama to his, unbinding him, drove him out of the camp. So he's sending him after that. So later on, after departure, Yudhishthira sorrowfully asked Krishna how Drona's son had been able to kill the warriors in their camp. I cannot see how it was possible that the sinful Ashwadhama could slay Drishtadyumna and so many other powerful fighters. Tell me, O Krishna, what powerful possessed him? Then Krishna explained here, this is the main thing. How Ashwadhama had worshipped Shiva and obtained from him the power to kill warriors. But know from me that their time had come. Having carried out my will, so look at this statement, Krishna's statement. Having carried out my will, they have now reached everlasting regions of bliss. Therefore, O king, you need not lament for them. Krishna consoled Yudhishthira and Vedic wisdom, while the other Pandavas and their women listened to his words. The sun was approaching the meridian, and Yudhishthira, feeling comforted, told his brothers that they should go to the Ganges to perform the last rites of their sons and other relatives. Wrapped in simple cotton clothes, the bodies of all the slain men were carried to the river bank, followed by mournful procession of the Pandavas. The women walked at the head of the procession, followed by hundreds of the Brahmins who were reciting Vedic mantras and throwing kushagras on the ground. So here, Krishna is mentioning, it has carried out my will. So that massacre is again, it is Krishna's will. Lord Shiva also says that one to Ashwadhama. It is, I am instructing you on the order of my master's will. And here Krishna is saying that it is carried out by my will. So here the time has come. For example, Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna, he has appeared from the fire only to kill Dronacharya. So Dronacharya, after by yogic process in the Kurukshetra battle, he left his body already, but Drishtadyumna, he went there and he chopped off the head of Dronacharya. That's it. Now his job is done. Now there is no need of Drishtadyumna in this world anymore. So likewise, if we observe all these things, we have also come to our self-reflection, what we are here. We have come here for a particular purpose to fulfill our desires. As soon as the desires are done, desires are fulfilled, either materialistic or spiritual, we cannot stay even a single moment in this material world. We cannot stay a single moment in this material world. This is one would reflect. He would see his lost moments coming nearby. A real person understands all these things. There is nothing to do with this world for me anymore, with the relatives or family, house or anything, because of his conditions. Immediately, he will not stay in this world anymore. He will go back. Again, how to go back? There are a transcendental person who realizes this one. He will go to the supreme abode of the Lord, who is the devotee. And a person who is of the materialistic nature, he thinks that, oh, my set of activities are now complete. I need to start a new chapter. I want a fresh body. Nature arranges another body. Karmana dhaivanetrina jantuhu deham upapattaye. So likewise, it is very difficult even for the great sages or demigods to understand Krishna's pastimes. Bhishma Deva says to Yudhishthira here. Okay, so Uddhava is mentioning to Supreme Lord. And then same thing is relaying to the Vidura here. Karmani anihasya bhavo abhavasya te durghasriyo ata aribhayat palayanam kalatmano yat pramadayita ashramah swatman vratehe kidyate dhir vidamiha. Kidyate is even the sages will become disturbed by looking at the Lord's pastimes. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, so we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Kshetra Kasai, September 21st, 1970, Calcutta. It's a tiny letter. Can I request any other devotee to read this letter, please?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
My dear Kishridakshai, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge received your letter dated 30th of August. Regarding the arranging your tour, you should make your plan as you think best. This I will leave up to you. There are now 10 devotees with me here, and I expect 20 more men and women from US and Europe to come within a month. So I cannot say now definitely what will be our program. You make a nice program, and when you arrive, we can then make further arrangements as necessary. Hope we this will meet you in good health. Your ever Volusia, S. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any point, Prabhuji, in this?
Um, just very little later. And the point I get from there is Srila Prabhupada is giving responsibility to the devotees, and he's believe in them, and he's saying them, like, you can carry on with your expected way, and to increase the Krishna consciousness and bring people from Europe, so that the and USA, so that they can spread the Krishna consciousness in India. Hari Bol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so this is preparation and preaching Hare Krishna movement in India. Very beautiful. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other comments, dear devotee? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the updates and announcements point of view, so just one thing. So tomorrow is our teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It will continue as usual. And one update is Vrindavan Das Prabhuji, so who has carried out this Jagannath Rath Yatra in the West Bengal, and our devotees have contributed Lakshmi towards the Jagannath Rath Yatra. And Vrindavan Das Prabhuji, he was so feeling love towards our devotees who contributed Lakshmi, and he wanted to give a nice treat to all the devotees by preparing nice feast. So he was asking whether if devotees come together to one particular place, I will bring prasadam and we will all can have like that. That Prabhu wanted to prepare prasadam for all of the devotees who have contributed all the Lakshmi towards the Jagannath Rath Yatra. So mentioned like that. So I wanted devotees who are nearer to the temple, and Prabhuji is at the Edgeware Road, in a few kilometers. That is the point. And he wanted to feed on that 12th, I think 12th or 13th of July. 13th of July, I think. So he asked like, what are your opinions? And then if you come together, so what are your, and I got a few responses from devotees, different opinions. So again, coming together for all devotees at one point of time, that for the feast, it may be a bit of labor, a little of work to just start, go home, and then meet the Prabhuji and then have feast, and then, but just wanted to understand from everyone's perspective, whether it is feasible, or you wanted to post a poll in the group, how many would attend that feast program. that Vrindavan Das Prabhuji is doing. Yes, so this is what I was um, hearing from the Prabhuji. So any comments and opinions, dear devotees, you wanted to share? Usha Mataji, Gaurangi Mataji.
Right, Prabhu. I don't know, Prabhu. So, Prabhuji is,
Is it possible for you to attend?
when is it, Prabhu?
It is Sunday Mataji, so that is 13th of July. It looks
30th of July.
next.
I will let you know, Prabhu. I'm not sure yet. So maybe put a poll and then we'll see if is who is available.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
So okay, what time maybe when we can go and see.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. So, and also Prabhuji may need some kind of lift, taking prasadam from the some edgeway or something like that to that temple wherever devotees are arranging that the temple like that.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Like I said, okay, Prabhu.
So you want to poll to be posted in the group so that we can see.
So I don't know, Prabhu, what are the devotees saying? So I'm just suggesting.
Sometimes, but yeah, most of the poll they're posting to many devotees in this group, and also there is another group that Sham Prabhuji is having.
Okay, Prabhu.
But there are many devotees, hundreds of devotees, and not everyone have contributed towards Jagannath Rath Yatra. We are putting poll. If they
Okay,
will
Prabhu.
like accept that, I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, no problem. Just let me know then what like other devotees what they say. So maybe when we can get together.
Sure, man. And Vrindavan Das Prabhuji has reached to Saurav Prabhuji, Sham Prabhuji, Sanchita Mataji, all those
Oh, okay,
devotees,
okay.
and then
Oh,
spoke
Sansita
to.
Mataji, maybe let us know then if she is
Yeah,
what she say. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
okay.
If available, then yeah, we'll definitely meet other
But it may be
devotees.
appropriate to reach the devotees
Yeah,
individually, then ask their opinion.
okay.
Okay, so thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mataji.
thank you.
And the devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share,
Yeah.
or any events, kindly update. Otherwise, we shall move to the next part, Shloka learning.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I have some like a tulsi plant if some devotee is interested to because I grew some tulsi plant.
Okay, but how many plants, Mataji?
Prabhu, I can give like around 10.
Okay, 10 plants. Okay, very wonderful.
I got some as well, Prabhu. Very good.
Oh, so beautiful. Prabhuji, wonderful service, giving Tulsi Mata to everyone. Wonderful service. So should I put two addresses in the group for Tulsi Plants collections, Mataji and Prabhuji?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, you can ask first who is then we can if
yeah.
anyone is interested, contact us. Then we can arrange
Yeah.
instead of giving the address on the side, Prabhu.
Yeah, we need to know postcode first so that is it easy for them to
Or
collect?
even if someone wants, if it's
Can go to the temple maybe. Take it to the temple and the
Yeah, sometimes devotees may be near to next to your home, but
yeah, then yeah, they can come and they can.
and I can even drop it, Prabhu, if it's nearer my nearest to around temple area or my home. I can look in Harrow area, West London. Basically, West London, I can drop it. Yeah.
very wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Okay, I'll straight away put this message in the group.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, so and also if you just kindly put me your postcode and also first line of address, then I will also put two addresses if the devotees can collect or if they want anyone wanted to be delivered if it is nearby, then
Yeah.
that is also
Yes,
possible.
yes, sure, Prabhu.
Okay, so thank you so much, Prabhu Jain Mataji. Anything else, or we shall go to the shloka learning?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have been learning the shlokas for last couple of years or months, so many years. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3, where Suta Goswami describes all different incarnations of the Lord, 22 incarnations. So within that sequence, so we have been learning what are Krishna's incarnations. So far, starting from the four Kumaras, that is the first incarnation. Second incarnation is the Varahadeva. Third is the Narada Muni. Fourth is the Naranarayana. Fifth is the Kapila Bhagavan. Sixth is Dattatreya. Seventh is the Yajna or Suyajna, the son of Merudevi. And eighth is Rishabhadeva. Ninth is the Prudu Maharaj. 10th is the Mashyavataram. 11th is the Kurmavataram. 12th is the Dhanvantari. 13th is the Mohini. 14th is Narasimhavataram. 15th is the Vamanavataram. 16th is the Parashurama. 17th Vyasadeva. 18th Lord Buddha. Sorry. Lord Ramachandra, and then 19th and 20 are Krishna and Balaram. 21 is the 21 is the Buddha Avataram. 22 is the Kalki Avataram. There are 22 incarnations mentioned by Sutta Goswami. We have gone through, and later on, the incarnations of the Lord, they are innumerable. Innumerable. So just like there is a big gigantic water pond, and then all so many rivulets are flowing through that water pond. Just like there is a water reservoir and there is a big pipe going through, and it says going through different homes, different small taps. Likewise, Lord's incarnations are like that, innumerable. And those appear Rushyo Manuva Deva Manuputra Mahojasaha Kalaha Sarve Harereva Saprajapate Smrutaha. So this is the last shloka. Rushyo Manuva Deva Manuputra Mahojasaha Kalaha Sarve Harereva Saprajapate Smrutaha. All these incarnations, all the rishis, Manus, demigods, descendants of Manu, who are especially powerful, or plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis. So this shloka we have tried to learn in the last session. Okay, so today we are going to have another, this is kind of conclusive shloka. It is very famous and it is very key shloka for many of our Bhagavatam discussions. And I request dear devotees, it must be remembered by everyone. So this shloka, what Sutta Goswami says, Yete chamsa kalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mrudiyanti Yuge Yuge. So whatever the 20 incarnations explained, there are Yetecha Amsha Kalaha. They are all plenary portions or portions of the portions. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. This is Krishnastu Bhagavan. Krishna is the not incarnation. Krishna is the, even though it is put up into one of the incarnations, but he is the avatari. Avatari means who is source of all other incarnations, all other avatars. Krishna is Krishnastu Bhagavan, saying the original personality of Godhead. Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidanand Vigraha Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karana. But Krishna, the personality, the two-handed form of the Lord, this is the original form of the Lord. Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. Yetecha Amshakalaha Pumsaha. Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokum Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge. Whenever Indra Ari Vyakulam, when Indra is afraid of Ari Vyakulam, is the enemies. When he was disturbed by the enemies of Indra, then in that particular time, Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge. Mrudayanti. Mrudayanti is the to give protection to Indra and demigods and everyone else. And also Paritraya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkrutam Dharma Samstapanadhaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Likewise, Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge. This is Bhagavatam Sloka, that is Bhagavad Gita Sloka. So this particular Sloka is very important. Krishnastu Bhagavan saying, this is the very important line. At every moment we have to remember, Krishnastu Bhagavan saying, he is not the incarnation. He is the Swayam. If I say, I am, and this is my child, I can say my child, but this is me. Means I do not say that it is my, I do not say I am my incarnation like that. I am Krishna's Bhagavan saying. Everything else is Krishna's incarnations. Okay, so we shall try to recite this shloka 3 times. Yete chamshakalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan swayam indrari vyakulam lokam mriyanti yuge yuge. So translation just before we recite. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Okay, so that is the shloka. So can I request all devotees kindly take a turn and try to recite. Okay, so starting from Gauri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Would you like to recite this shloka 3 times, Mataji, please?
Okay. Iti chamsakalaha pungsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Iti chamsakalaha pungsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Iti chamsakalaha pungsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, ete cha amshakalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Okay, so can I request Ranjita Mataji, are you available to recite this shloka 3 times, Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Ete chanshakala pusham Krishnastu Bhagavanam Swayam Indre Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete Chanshakala Pusham Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriya Vakulam Lokam Mridyanti Yuge Yuge Ete Chanshakala Pusham Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriya Vyakulam Lokam Mridyanti Yuge Yuge.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely recited. Okay, second request, Usha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Ete chamsakalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Yakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete cha amsakalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Yakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete chamsakalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indradi Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Hare
Very
Krishna.
good. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so here, Ete cha amshakalaha pumsaha. Pumsaha is the of the Supreme. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indra Ari. Indra plus Ari, Indrari. Vyakulam Lokam, Ari Vyakulam. Well, the demonic people, they disturb us. So enemies of Indra Vyakulam, Lokam, they disturb the world. At that time, Mrudayanti, Yuge, to give protection, Yuge, the Lord appears in all kinds of, all millenniums. So, Etecha Amshakalaha Pumsaha, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mrudayanti Yuge Yuge. So, dear devotees, in this shloka, with regards to the pronunciation or the alphabets or symbols, if you have got any questions with regards to Sanskrit, kindly raise, or you want to ask any questions, kindly ask. Otherwise, we shall.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Mataji.
just a cha amsa.
Yes.
So if they say chamsa, so we can say chamsakala when we
So
recite
here,
that.
in
So it's a
Yetecha,
amsa or amsa.
this is Sa. There
Yeah.
are three Sas. Yes. Sa, Sa, Sha.
Mhm.
This is second letter. Sa. So here, Yetecha, we just combine this two words. Yetecha, Amshakalaha. Amsha is the plenary portions.
Amsa.
Kalaha is the
Okay.
portions of the portions.
Yeah. So not like ansa. It is a amsa.
Amsha, yes.
Okay.
Chamsha.
Sometimes we pronounce like a no with a n, and then here is a ma, right, Prabhu? Like when we say
Yes.
pumsaha,
Pumsaha. This one, there is a dot on the top. Pumsaha.
Okay.
That is,
First, that would be
so for example, we get a name Ranjita. So Ra, and then there is
no.
What is called Sunna or something like that. Wo like that kind of thing. Pumsaha. That is dot.
This do is some is ma pronunciation, some is na pronunciation, right, Prabhu?
So na and ma, whenever ma and the dot on top of ma comes, then you will see some kind of dot on the in Hindi or Sanskrit.
Yes. So some pronunciation is the dot is a ma and some is na.
Yes. So here the dot in here in the alphabets a I u ru a I o au that is the one
Mm-hmm.
aha, that is the visarga is the
Yeah.
last one before the visarga that is the one here ma, when you include with ma, that is what is that one?
Mm.
Yeah, that is pum saha.
Yeah.
Okay, if the na sound comes, it will go with the na in the consonants na. That is
Mm-hmm.
dhanya cha 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 ja dha ini ta ta da dha na. That is different na.
Okay, okay, Prabhu, yes. Yes. Sounds full of things. Okay,
Any
okay,
other
Prabhu.
questions in this one? And the Mrudayanti. So under D there is a dot here. It comes dha. Mrudayanti. So it is stressing the dha. Mrudayanti, yuge yuge. So we have got in the all consonants, these are different like the kakha, gagha, nya, cha, cha, da, dha, ni, ta, tha, da, dha, dha, second dha. This is second dha. Okay, so this is about, can I request dear devotees to try to understand what are the synonyms of this line, the top line, and the context. Garingi Mataji, would you like to add any context for the first line, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this one.
Yes, first line, Mataji.
Okay. It all this saw and amsa plenary protection color protection of the plenary protection. This is I have a look in my book. Yeah, these are all Purna Angsa and Purna Angsa's Angsa is a synonyms telling that Prabhuji. Then Lord Krishna is like that. This described for their Prabhuji. I cannot describe and I cannot explain Prabhuji. Sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. So these are what we have said is right. So all these incarnations, Sri Goswami is saying, Yekecha, whatever so far he has described, what he has described, he has described Gunavataras, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, that is three Gunavataras, and Purushavasaras, Garbhodaka, Karnodak Sai Vishnu, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, Kshirodak Sai Vishnu, Virat Rupa, and also as Super Soul. And all these things he has described. And then later on, he described 22 incarnations. This is Kalavataras and or Leela Avataras. Apart from this, there are Manvantara Avataras, Shaktavesh Avataras, and also Yuga Avataras. So it is described into 6 categories. And here everything, all this kind of Ete Amshakalaha, either they are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions. They're all coming from Govinda Madipurusham Tamham Bhajami. We worship the source of all incarnations, not the small incarnations. Some people even they worship the demigods. Demigods worship is not recommended by Krishna. Only one has to worship Krishna only or Vishnu. Okay, so there is no equality, there is no difference between Krishna and Vishnu, but Krishna is the original candle, original supreme personality of Godhead. He expands as Vishnu himself. But sometimes people understand Krishna is the incarnation of Vishnu. That is not right according to the scriptural injunctions. Some scriptures say that scriptures again for the people of mode of goodness, for the people of mode of passion, for the people of mode of ignorance. According to their level of consciousness, they understand it. But from the scriptures point of view, they're all transcendental. But based on the people, it is categorized. For the Paramahamsas, Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Here, that is clearly described here. So to Goswami. Yede chamsha kalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Okay, so can I request Ranjita Mataji, if you read the synonyms for this line and what you understand.
Uh, Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna is Lord Krishna. Tu means but, and Bhagavana the personality of Godhead. Swayam in person. So it means that Krishna, he is the God, and he is not incarnation of anyone. So he himself, like he's the one, like he's not incarnation of, like as you told. So that's what it's mean, I think.
Perfect. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So that is the
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay. And can I request Usha Mataji to say next line, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam. Indra Ari, the enemies of Indra, Vyakulam disturb Lokam, all the planets. So, here like Indra is the enemies for the, sometimes you know that when you take a incarnation, I think the way that Vyakulam Lokam.
So some number of times Indra is the king of the Amaravati. Amaravati is the heaven. And everyone, all the demonic people, Daityas, Asuras, they wanted to go and occupy, like Hiranyakashipu was just going there and trying to occupy that one. And one side Ravanasura, and later on Bali Chakravarti. Everyone are desiring to go and occupy the land of the land of
Indra.
Indra. So at the time he is perturbed. Immediately what he did? He go for help.
help to if somebody will take his
Yeah.
yes. Mhm. Indra always in fear if somebody is going to take his position. So
Yeah.
he always, yes.
And whenever he is disturbed and fear, then he makes so many mistakes. And whenever he is in enjoyment, again mistakes. Either fearful, make mistakes.
Mm.
So again, this Sukadeva Goswami condemns the nature of this Indra because he just even when Krishna is taking Parijata flower from the heaven, at the time Indra, instead of allowing Lord to take that one, and then he tried to fight with the Lord.
Mhm.
Then Sukadeva Goswami, after describing that incident to Parikshit Maharaj, saying, "So what the hell of this Indra? So all their opulences go to the hell. He is directly fighting with the Lord. He is a brainless person." Likewise, he was condemning the activity or action of Indra, even the demigods. So something like that Lord says. That's why Brahma says, Nati prasidati tadopajitopacharaihi aradita suraganaihi aradita suraganaihi hrutibaddha kamaihi yat sarva bhodadaya asad alabhyaiko nana janeshu dha suhridantaratma. Brahma's prayers, "Oh my dear Lord, you are not very much pleased with the demigods. Na ati prasidati तथोपचितोपचारैः आराधित सुरगणैः hृदिबद्धकामैः. They have got so much of desires. All the demigods, they worship you for such kind of protection and opulences like that. But a devotee who is surrendering everything, all his things unto you, you are very much pleased with such kind of devotees. Likewise, Brahma says, it is third canto, third chapter 9, verse 12. So here, Indra is always fearful and afraid that if someone is going to come, or sometimes these demonic people naturally they wanted to enjoy. They make disturbances in the universal orders. Indra Rivyakulam Lokam. Okay, so and then the fourth line, Mrudayanti Yuga Yugi. Um, can anyone say this one? Ranjita Mataji, would you like to give context, Mataji?
So Mridyanti means give protection. Sorry, and Yuga in different ages. So there is like problem, disturbance because of that greediness, and to save his place or whatever you can say, so Krishna, I think he is the one who gives protection in all the different ages, whenever problem comes. So he is there always to give protection. Yeah, whatever disturbance or anything happens in the world, in any corner, whether it's patal lok or uh, so he is there to protect all of us. Hare Krishna.
And Krishna says one statement in the Bhagavad Gita. Would you like to share, Mataji? What Krishna says? The famous two verses.
Sorry.
Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says there are two famous
Yeah,
verses.
there is something Yuga. I don't remember.
Yada, yada.
Yada
Yadahi
yada hi
dharmasya
dharmasya
bhavati
bhavati bharati.
abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamiham परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
Yes, very beautiful. Ranjita Mataji, would you like to recite the shlokas, Mataji?
Sorry, which one?
That is shloka. Yada yada hi dharmasya.
Oh, I don't remember. So if you can, yeah.
I'll share that one.
Yeah. So yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharate abhyattanam adharmasya tadanatam aham. So, whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at the time I descend myself. So, yeah, exactly what I told. Like he will be there, and he will come. Yeah, whenever there is problem or there is any disturbance, he will come and protect us in any form. Yeah.
Would you like to say this shloka as well, Mataji?
Sorry.
Would you like to recite this shloka?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Parityadana sadnadam. Sorry. Vinasaya. This is
Vinasaya
Vinashaya Dushkaram.
Yadushkritam.
Dushkritam. Dharma samstapardanyatha danya sambhavani yuge yuge. So to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principle of religion, I myself appear millennium and after millennium.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
So this is यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे Dharma Samsthapanadhyaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. In every millennium, the Lord appears according to the time, place, and circumstances. But Krishna appears once in a Lord Brahma's day. So Krishna, that is incarnation, for his appearance, there will be so many changes. When the king is coming, there are different arrangements. When the governor is coming, different arrangements. It is not everyone have got similar kind of arrangements. One person is having Z plus category in our government officials comes like if prime minister comes, it is high security. President comes high security like that. And governor comes little bit of security. And if ordinary official, no need of much security. So likewise, whenever Krishna comes once in a Brahma's day, again even the yugas are also changed. Dwapara Yuga comes second, so Treta Yuga comes. Sorry. So the orders of the yugas, Kruta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. That is the sequence. But for Krishna's appearance, Dwapara Yuga and Treta Yuga, they are overlapped. So that is in the 28th cycle of Vaivashita Manu that comes in the Brahma's day. Brahma's day contains 71 Manvantaras. 14 Manvantaras and 71 is that one? Each Manvantara contains 71 Yuga cycles. So we are in the 7th Manvantara, that is Vaivashita Manvantara, and out of that 7th Manvantara, each Manvantara contains 71 cycles of Chaturyuga. We are in the 28th cycle. We are in the 28th cycle. And the Indra who is ruling, who is the son of Aditi Mata, his name is Purandara. Indra is a position. It is like a prime minister. Our prime minister is Narendra Modi. Who is Indra, current Indra? He is a Purandara, son of Aditi Mata. So likewise, we are in the and also Vaivaskuta Manvantara. Who is Vaivasta? He is son of the sun god. His father is Vivaswan, sun god. Okay, so that is we are in the 28th cycle. So for this, Krishna appears only once in Brahma's day personally. But everything else, all other incarnations, they will keep on Drishyo, Manu, Deva, Manuputra, Mahodesaha, Kalaha, Sarve, Hare Deva, Saprajapate, Smrutaha. They will so many Amshas, Kalas, portions of the plenary portions, they will keep on coming. Because Krishna comes once in a Brahma's day. it is very hard to know about Krishna again. Many people, so until that point, everyone are worshipping Vishnu because Vishnu is the Yajna Purusha. Everyone has to perform these sacrifices. So likewise, but Krishna is always there. He personally comes once in a Brahma's day. Okay, so that is this particular shloka. Ete chamsha kalaha pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mrudiyanti Yuge Yuge. Okay, so can I request all devotees kindly again try to recite this shloka 3 times, please? During the Mataji. Arusha Mataji, you wanted to stay Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. एतेषां सकलाः पुंसः पुरुषास्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं ब्रोडयन्ति युगे युगे एतेषां सकलाः पुंसः पुरुषास्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं ब्रोडयन्ति युगे युगे एतेषां सकलाः पुंसः पुरुषास्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं ब्रोडयन्ति युगे युगे
Very nice. Would you like, do you remember this shloka Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. So like that?
Will you recite without looking?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. एतेषां सकलः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं ब्रोडयन्ति युगे युगे
Very beautiful, very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Gauringi Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. 3 times looking, then without looking. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Iti jam sakala pungsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge Iti jam sakalaha pungsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Gudayanti Mridayanti Yuge Yuge एते जं सकलाः पुंसः कृष्णास्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं हृदयन्ति युगे युगे ओके एते जं सकलाः पुंसः कृष्णास्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं हृदयन्ति युगे युगे
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Vedanta Mataji, would you like to try Mataji? Recite it 3 times.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. एते चंशकला पुंसं कृष्ण तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृदयन्ति युगे युगे एते चंशकला पुंसं कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृदयन्ति युगे युगे एते चंशकला पुंसं कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृदयन्ति युगे युगे हरे कृष्ण
Great. Would you like to try Mataji without looking? Yeah, you can take help. You can close your eyes and you can say when you don't.
एते चंशकला कला पूषं कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृदयन्ति युगे युगे
Very beautiful, very nice. Excellent.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Okay, so when we recite 3 times, first time it may be appearing unfamiliar. Second time we know already. Third time, okay, we know what we are doing it. So in such a way, in the fourth time we keep doing it and we will remember the shloka forever. And then again in due course of in the daytime when we are doing some household chores, when we try to recite the shloka, again practicing it, then we will remember forever. It will stay in the heart. Okay. एते चांश कलाः पुंसः Pumsaha. This is Pumsaha. Ete chamsha kalaha Pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. It is representing the personality, not impersonal. Something I wanted to merge in the Brahma Jyoti. That is not the right destination for the devotees. So here Pumsaha, the person. We need to go to the person who is in the spiritual abode. Goloka Vrindavan, that supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, that person. It is not simply that effulgence is only the light coming from Krishna. Some people wanted to merge there. They wanted to lose their identity and then merge there. But for devotees, they wanted to go and associate with Krishna personally, serve him and worship him, sing him and play with him and do nice kirtans for him. We play. This is what we practice here in this human life. This is the very rare opportunity. Manusham dhurlabham janma. Okay, so we have to practice this devotional service here and how to worship, how to sing, all these things. And once we leave this body, there we enter into the Goloka Vrindavana, there we carry out that service. There, no time influence, no birth, no old age, no disease, ever youthful. In such a way, we accompany Krishna. That one we practice here. The otherwise, some people wanted to merge in the Brahman Jyoti, there is no activity, but it is not permanent. It is not permanent. They cannot stay longer time because there is no activity, no service. After some time, they may be frustrated there and then come back. So that one again, the script just mentions that. Okay, so this is where one has to associate with the Lord. That is, Ittam Satam Brahma Sukana Bhutya Dasyam Gatanam Paradhaivatena Mayasitanam Naradharakena Sakam Vijapruho Krutapunya Punjaha. Krutapunya Punjaha. The friends of Krishna, they are having association with Krishna and enjoying all kinds of different rasas and mellows. So, of course, it is the Naradharakena in the human form. That is happening in the earthly pastimes, in the earthly Vrindavan. But in the Goloka Vrindavana, there is the same kind of activities are happening, but it is eternal pastimes. No, our body will not get older, we will not get diseases. There is no conditioning there. But everything for the pleasure of Krishna. There is no sense gratification, personal enjoyment. Because we wanted to please Krishna, automatically we will also get the happiness. But if we try to please our senses, then immediately we fall down to the material world. But everything we do it for the pleasure of Krishna. Then we keep ourselves as part of that enjoyment. That's all. As simple as that. We hear when we go to the temple, we wanted to prepare nice palatable dishes and offer it to Krishna with so much of love. But after offering it, we take part it as a prasadam. See, that prasadam, that is, if we try to please Krishna, if we wanted to give more pleasure to Krishna, that more pleasure will come back to us. It is a simple technique. Okay, so that is very beautiful with the devotees. They will relish all of the current life. But in order to relish that current life, one has to chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles, gradually purify themselves from the materialistic contamination. Then they will relish every moment of their life. Okay, so for that one, we have to little bit use the material body. Material body is a bad bargain. Best use of the bad bargain. And one day anyway it will fall down. Before it falls down, we have to use it for our real purpose. Awaken our Krishna consciousness, purify ourselves, and keep it ready so that we go back to the Goloka Vrindavan. That is the highest purpose. Again, we do not make that body fall into this material dirty desires, just go with these friends and family, do that one. So many things are there. Of course, we do as a matter of duty, we do not deviate from the Swadharma. Swadharma charanam sekyam, vidharma nivatyanam. But we don't engage like the sinful activities. Whatever as a matter of duty, we do it. We don't do beyond that. It will entangle us. Okay, so that is this particular shloka. Thank you so much, dear devotees. And anyone would like to try again without looking, try to reset?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. May I try, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
एते चां सकला पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारि व्याकुलं लोकं मृडयन्ति युगे युगे.
Very beautiful. Very nice. Garingi Mataji, without looking. Garingi Mataji, are you available? Ranjita Mataji.
I'm not very confident, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So
You can have once, Mataji, just to reset once looking and then close your eyes and try to reset. If you wanted help, pick your eyes. You can,
okay.
yeah.
Ete chamshakalalokam. I'm sorry, not lokam. Ete chamshakala pushah Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge.
Very beautiful. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Garingi Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Iti chamsakalaha pungsaha Krishnasto Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge.
Yes, perfect. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So it contains how many paragraphs? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a long purport is there. Okay, we are four, so we shall read 4 people, 4 paragraphs. Ranjita Mataji, would you like to read the translation and first paragraph of the purport, Mataji? And then we'll conclude after reading the purport. Ranjita Mataji, would you like to read the translation and first paragraph of the purport, please?
Okay. So from all of the above?
Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portion or portion of plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the atheist, I think. In this particular stanza, Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatara means one who descends. All the incarnations of Lord, including Lord himself, descends to the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions or part of the plenary portions or his differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descends to this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all powers, prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or the part of plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnation of the Lord display limited powers because so much is needed at that particular time.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, would you like to read the second paragraph, Mataji, please?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. For example, Lord Parshurama and Lord Narasimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobeyed Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planet would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrows. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Narasimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamadagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation, Narada and plenary incarnation, Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Brahma and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balrama, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nar and Narayan uh, rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all the different indirectly or directly empowered incarnation of the Lord manifested different features, but Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete feature of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary features exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his eternal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss, and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastime with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavan relates this transcendental pastime in the 10th canto, and in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji, would you like to read the next paragraph, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji. According to Srila Jiva Goswami statement, in accordance with authoritative source, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnation. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the Supreme Truth in the full are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declared that There is no truth greater than or equal of himself. In this stage, uh, stanza, the word Sabhyam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other place the uh, incarnation are described as Bhagavan because of their specific fountains. Now, nowhere are they declared to be the supreme personality. In this stanza, two world Sabhyam, Isbhyam, Singh feels the uh, supremacy as the summum uh, bonum. Yes, Prabhuji or other.
Yeah, that's it, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Prabhuji, cannot pronounce and cannot
It
read
is very
properly.
nice, Mataji. Very nicely read. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is we got Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Swami. So Swayam Bhagavan. So we got Maharaj as well. Okay, so that name was given to Maharaj by Kadamba Swami when he was initiating. So here Swayam Bhagavan, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Okay, so I shall read last paragraph. So the Samam Bonam Krishna is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakasha, Tad Ekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesha, and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Samam Bonam Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentages of these attributes, but Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes 100%, and his personal expansions such as Swayam Prakasha and Tad Ekatma up to the categories of the avatars, who are all Vishnu Tattva, possess up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither Avatara nor Avesha nor in between them, possess almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas, or the individual living beings in the different statuses of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possess these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of the one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All the other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for human beings is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings, who are all residents of the planets in the spiritual sky, are eternal associates of the Lord in different spiritual planets called Haridhama and Maheshadama. The abode of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavana. And the perfect living being, by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here there are attributes of a living entity. This is described by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So describing 64 qualities of Krishna. So Krishna has got 64 qualities, and whereas Narayana or Vishnu's they have got up to 60 qualities, and then less than them is Lord Shiva, contains 55 qualities, and then less than Shiva, Brahma, up to living Brahma, all the living entities contains 50 qualities, but in a less quantity. So this is Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, and Krishna. Brahma contains a maximum of 50 qualities, Lord Shiva 55, Lord Narayana 60, Krishna 64. Krishna contains the full attributes in full. That is the Krishna's the Bhagwan Swami. We have been reading this Krishna's qualities in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So that one we have. This is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So there we have read this one. We do on every Monday evening. These are the qualities, the 64 qualities. Okay, so this is Krishna, the four additional qualities that Narayana, so it is mentioned. The above mentioned 60 qualities are visible in Narayana, but Krishna has four special qualities, which are he is able to manifest wonderful pastimes, and he is the expert in transcendental flute playing, and he is surrounded by loving devotees. He possesses unparalleled personal beauty. Okay, these are the four qualities then Lord Narayana. Krishna expands himself into so many Vishnu forms. So in the Brahma Vimohana Leela, Krishna expanded into so many Vishnu forms. Brahma was bewildered. So I got my master one Vishnu, but here there are so many Vishnus. Who are all these Vishnus? Then all Vishnus entered into the body of Krishna. So that is the beauty. Those pastimes, we have to go through all those historical and evidences. These are history. And then this, whatever we are seeing, reading here in the books, all these history incidents, facts have been embedded by our acharyas. Okay? So that is how we learn about the absolute truth. Okay, so that is from the learning of this shloka. Okay, thank you so much, dear devotee. If you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything on this one, kindly share or kindly ask any questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So it's so beautiful verse, Prabhu. So it's like Krishna is saying he's a Krishna and Bhagavan. So how many qualities Krishna have? Like 64, and then Shiva and Brahma and Vishnu have 60 and 50. So Krishna have all qualities, like 64 qualities. And then so nice, Prabhu. And then we are reading on Monday. So one by one, each quality, and then we can go deeper in the qualities. So it's really nice, Prabhu. This verse is beautiful. So I have to remember this one by heart, Prabhu.
Yes, very nice, Mataji. So beautiful. And
Yeah, thank you for your effort, Prabhu. It's so nice to we can just say without any mistakes. We can just remember and read this.
yes, once we do it few shlokas, once you get the test, then you do not need anyone to just help. You can go on with your own flow in your own way. You will learn very easily all the shlokas.
Okay, but it takes time, not like you, Prabhu. You always remember all the slokas with the meanings and everything. If you remember the slokas, then sometimes you forget the meanings also, Prabhu. That one by one the word, and this is oh, what is that meaning? So I have to remember with the meaning and everything, Prabhu. So it's really nice, Prabhu. You just giving so much effort and time. You can remember that sloka.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's all Krishna's knowledge, Krishna's thing.
Yeah, Prabhu, you
Prabhupada.
have such,
That's it.
you remember so much, Prabhu. And then I was thinking, how, Prabhu, can just comes in your mind all the time that all the you give that um, uh, reference and everything, which sloka, where, which number, Prabhu. It's so nice. You get so straight away reference, Prabhu, in your mind. You just give it the quotation and say, this is the come from this, and then it goes with this. So, yeah, really nice, Prabhu. Like to say that, which in Bhagavad Gita also, that Bhagavan said, Krishna, yada yada hi karmasya. So it's just straight away you just say, give the reference. And then he said, okay, we connect with this. So, yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So Brahma says that's why one should not do here any kukata. Kukata is like the materialistic TVs, serials, programs. One has to stop all those things. It is like a Kapil Bhagavan mentions, nonam daivena vihata yecha achyuta katha sudham hitva srunvanti asadgataha. So instead of hearing Krishna Katha, they will hear asadgataha, just comparing like a purishi meva with bujaha, just like a pig eating the stool. Likewise, people watch these programs, serials, movies, and so many of those things which are not Achyuta Katha Sudham. Once we hear only Krishna Katha, then this will Brahma says, Ennurajantyaga Bido Rachananavada Shrunvanti Eni Vishaha Kukata Matignihi. Kukata, when we hear, it will kill the real intelligence. It will kill the real intelligence. So that is one thing to remember as Brahma mentions. And at the same time engage ourselves and follow the instructions of the spiritual masters, as Prabhupada always mentions. Okay, and engage ourselves in the devotional service. Everything will come into the picture, and then we will experience those mellows, Krishna Katha. Thank you, Mataji. Ranjita Mataji, have you got any questions, Mataji? You wanted to share anything?
And not really. I have got questions. So yeah, but it's really nice. I would say, like, because it's even a small thing, which we don't understand, and you give light, and then it's really nice to hear all those, and then we want to just practice in our life. So it's up to us, like how much, because you are giving what we need, yeah, but it's up to us, like how much we can do and practice. And yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, it's really nice hearing from you about Lord Krishna and all slokas, meaning, everything. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so every individual journey, so everyone has got their own journey, their own path. So no one can say like you do very fast, you do slow like that, but it is their own freedom and journey towards Krishna. Okay, so that is for gain these things, get the knowledge, deliberate properly and do whatever you do. Whatever you want to do it. Like Krishna says. First of all, gain the knowledge and then do whatever you wanted to do in your own way for Krishna's sake. Okay, so thank you so much, Mother. Okay, if you're all happy, then we shall conclude our session for today and continue with further japa if devotees are there. Okay, thank you so much. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कांची
Krishna. Happy Ekadasi, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद